Going over to the political part podcast of Congressman Randy Fine going to introduce a bill to ban all non-citizens from welfare. That was brought to us thanks to his X account, specifically hashtag Rep Fine, spelled F-I-N-E. And he says, quote, well, you know he's in politics because he uses fancy words, and he doesn't use the term illegal, which many people say is pejorative and evil. So he says, quote, I'm going to introduce a bill to ban all non-citizens from any form of welfare. No food stamps, no Section 8 housing, no Medicaid, no cash allowance, not one penny, not one. Want free stuff? Go home. Getting 4.7 million views and 182,000 likes. Which, yeah, I think they're going to have a lot of public support about this. Now, the question is, how many rhinos will actually say, oh no, we'll vote for this, but then the last minute the rhinos will do nothing at all. There's a lot of people who are very disappointed in politics. I would say, well, I'd argue nearly all of them. But yeah, I'm sure to tweet is pretty free. And again, I appreciate he's thinking about this issue. Again, with $38 trillion in debt because of the ineptitude and corruption of Democrats and Republicans, it's not sustainable. And again, if you're here illegally, it's especially disgusting that you're stealing these programs, which again, some people legitimately need. There are some people who are down on their luck. I always tell folks, I mean, especially if you go and volunteer at some food pantries in other areas, you never look down on a lot of them because you never know what. You could just be one accident, one bad decision away from being in the same place. You never know. And so again, I personally think that nonprofits and religious local churches and religious organizations are infinitely more effective actually helping the people who are in need than the government, who I can't decide some days that the government is more stupid or corrupt. It's depending on what day you ask me, I'll say one or the other, or maybe like Archer says, little column A, little column B. So again, the fact that people are coming here illegally, cutting in line, stealing that opportunity for people who are going through the right process, the legal process to do that, is really, I find it viscerally disgusting that they're stealing with these programs so often. And again, we can't afford it. $38 trillion in debt. And I kind of emphasize how big, how momentous of a problem that is. I mean, it's going to crash sometime, and it's going to be really scary when the music stops. The real question is, when is it going to stop? Now, again, this one Prairie Valley got 4.7 million views, 182,000 likes. One of the first comments comes to us thanks to Data Republican. Said, quote, your last name should be Finest, getting 3.8 thousand likes. He says, thank you, getting 786 likes. Brother Eagleman says, quote, in the real world, this would pass unanimously, getting 3.3 thousand likes. Yeah, but of course it won't. Again, one of the reasons you had the government shutdown it's because Democrats introduced part of the bill that would say, oh yeah, we want free healthcare and all this stuff for all the illegals. Remember to Maxine Waters, who debatably looks more visually visceral, disgusting than I, which is saying something. I mean, she blatantly said, oh yeah, we want healthcare for everyone, which again includes illegals. She was asked point blank by a reporter, oh yeah, you're holding up this bill, Republicans are going to pass it because you introduced this part that would, cover healthcare for illegals. She goes, we think healthcare, everyone should have it, which obviously everyone includes, people who broke into the country. So again, it should pass unanimously. But again, we've seen a political shift dramatically past 15 years especially. Again, go back to the 90s. All Democrats also agreed illegal immigration is a problem, and they said, no, we shouldn't have it. I mean, even Hillary Clinton was saying we need to have a more secure, not just financial security, but also in terms of the economy, we need to have a tight, secure border. Even she was saying that back then. Though I should clarify, Hillary Clinton is definitely a beautiful, intelligent woman, not at all evil or corrupt, or had a disproportionate amount of people commit suicide, like 20 plus people. And coincidentally, I want to note that I don't own any rope and plan to live a long life. Just thought I'd throw that out there, coincidentally. Now you also have Raylan Stark saying, quote, base Randy Fine, getting 109 likes. We found our first contrarian statement. This is from David John Brashear, who says, quote, this you? And is a screenshot from a profile by name of Track APAC. It says, Randy Fine received $458,168 from APAC. I'm going to guess this. When is that? That statistic is from August 2025. They got 6.2 thousand likes. Whoa. Blue Dot says, why don't Republicans research anything before opening their big stupid mouths? Don't you have staff to do that? She got 4.9 thousand likes, what she ratioed. Daniel says, if no one's, and she insinuates, oh yeah, the programs say, have to have all these IDs. Again, we also see Tim Walz in Minnesota, which I personally mispronounce as a slight to that weak conquered state, saying we're going to give driver's license to anyone, legal or illegal. Many other states have those same policies. And a lot of these programs we've seen, oh yeah, they don't check much. It's also the same thing when it comes to illegals voting. We're told, oh yeah, well, pretty much everything leftists say. First they say it's not happening. Then they say, well, it's happening, but it's just a little bit. Then they say, well, it's happening and it's a good thing. You have to tolerate it. No. Then they say it's happening and you should think it's a good thing. Then they say it's happening, you should celebrate it. Pretty much every leftist idea or thought point goes around that same process. Now you also have David, which is Louise. I'm not purposely trying to butcher these things, folks. I'm attempting. David Haktiki Oju. Haqiq. Let's get. I was about to say it's a great Scrabble word, but again, in Scrabble, you can't actually use names. So he is a Muslim founder of MuslimSkeptic.com, writer and lecturer on Islam and modernity. He's got 175,000 followers. Again, this is from Daniel Haki Tiokjo. Says, what about all the free Israelis that get American taxpayer food, healthcare, education? Welfare Jews in Israel is kosher for you. They got 4.7 thousand likes, which it is pretty crazy that they actually get free healthcare, free college over there. While, again, most Americans are destroying their own lives in terms of financial hardships, taking out college loans at as high as like 7.5% interest rates, destroying their ability to make a living long term, or build a savings or buy a house. While again, the other country, they have all that for free. Now, again, that is $1 trillion issue in the United States, and well, fiscally in terms of is it 3.8 billion per year? Now, again, there's also other things they get in terms of military support. It's not just that cash, but yeah, there's definitely more and more people starting to bring out the attention to the AIPAC recipients. I believe only 2 people in the U.S. government or Congress has not received anything from them. So this is a thing where both left and the right, in terms of DC, greatly support Israel. Tim Sniggins says this, but for Israel. It says how Randy Fine seems himself as the Bear Jew from, what movie is that? Inglourious Bastards. And then it's juxtapositioned with a fat guy says how we see Randy Fine is a AI generated picture of a fat man with a Israeli cheerleading uniform, getting 3,000 likes. Israel Exposed also says, well, all the free stuff we give Israel, getting 2.6 thousand likes. Fred Wellman says, quote, introduce a bill to who? You cowards are at home on free vacation hiding. You aren't doing anything but eating whole pizzas and lying, getting 2.5 thousand likes. You guys getting ratioed. Carrying guy says, Randy was one of those posts that sounds tough until you just think about it more and more in 5 seconds, and it collapses on pure nonsense. First, citizens don't get any federal benefits. That's what we're told about the voting, too. And myriad of other government handouts. He says, federal law has barred undocumented immigrants from welfare since 1996. Yeah. Got 1.7 thousand likes. You have Mirthful Moments having the picture of the stop giving them benefits, they'll deport themselves poster, getting 1.5 thousand likes. Representative Jack Kimball says this would be a great accomplishment to my bill making crime illegal, getting 1.6 thousand likes. Chipwreck says it's already in the big beautiful bill, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Let's see. Syria Bravo Actual says meh, and it's the recycle logo with the circle of arrows. He's got the sad looking guy in the middle, says, I wake up, Democrats do something blatantly illegal. GOP politicians are outraged, nothing happens. I wake up, and it goes in a circle. He forgot, he says GOP politicians are outraged. I actually do wonder how many of them are actually irate or upset, or if they're just, pontificating for political points. Instead of being outraged, it should just be changed to write angry letter. Or, wag an angry finger at someone and call someone to Congress and ask them questions. Ooh. Again, the amount of people that Republicans have actually held their feet to the fire, actually held accountable, you could probably write in a small cocktail napkin, which is funny because cocktail napkins are comically small, which napkins I always thought were a waste of money. I can't believe people waste money buying napkins. They're literally just overpriced paper towels. Personally, I've never done it. I think it's just a silly thing to do. Just use paper towels or something. Nevertheless, Nick Cezabo says, does this include the welfare giving to Israel, getting 1.2 thousand likes? He's getting ratioed beyond all belief. I think he's had 3 positive comments. I haven't seen a ratio this bad since my daily show sometimes. Let's see. The last squash says you should start by booting all corporations that have foreign investors, foreign board members, and foreign ownership of all corporate welfare. It says 170 billion for ICE, 117 billion in tax for the rich, 40 billion for Argentina, 240 million for Vanity Ballroom. Well, that's privately funded. It also says for 230 million in DOG payments, 100 million on golf. It says food stamps are a problem. Getting 1,000 likes. The guy who says food stamps is the problem is a small caricature with a red hat. Let's see. I think nearly everything else is just ratioing him. Robert Seffer says why this isn't already law is mind-boggling, getting 842 likes. Ian McCollum, 84? Can't be the... Is it? No, I don't think it's him. I was going to say Ian McCollum, in terms of me knowing of him, he's just, I would argue, a great historical researcher. Looks at his show is called Forgotten Weapons. I don't think that's him, though. It says, I'm fine with this. You could also seek to deport illegals. While at it, can we also cut funding to Israel and the genocidal regimes, getting 763 likes. Let's see. I'd say it's actually mostly ratioed. Burkle says no public education, getting 416 likes. A lot of people saying should already be a bill, shouldn't have to be a bill, getting 300 to 400 likes. You have Chicago One Ray. He has a snip from, it's not Fox News, is it? I believe it's Fox News. It also says Finnerty, so it might be a local affiliate. And it says food stamps by ethnicity, and they know Afghan 45.6, Somali 42.4, Iraqi at 34.8, and Haitian at 23.3. Let's see. But they actually don't really give the parameters of the sample size. Because again, in terms of who's on it in a whole, white people right now, again, demographics are greatly changing in the United States. That is the biggest. Now, again, per capita, that's when it does change. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.